The monster's a credit to his field.
Gus.
Yeah.
These are some low rolls. I have a 17. No, I'm sorry, a 14 to hit.
No.
And a 13.
No.
And a 19.
No.
As the thing leaps up and over Scrappy and lands just to the side of you. So he's in between you and the wall now. And starts lashing out with these great claws. And what's your passive arcana?
My passive arcana is 14.
14. The first two blows, one with his left claw and one with its right, go wide to the side of you, but you still do have to maneuver out of the way. And what are you armed with at the moment?
My cutlass and shield.
The third blow, when he comes in to bite at you with its terrible, powerful jaw, you interject your shields in the way. This thing's having no trouble seeing through your blurred state.
Okay.
It's only your armor and your wits that kept you from getting eaten right there.
All right.
But it doesn't rewind time on you, and that's going to bring us to Seeker.
All right. Let's try to take this guy out. By using...
Who's banging
I
pots
don't know,
and pans?
that level 3 magic missile seemed pretty strong. I liked your thinking there. I think I'm going to go with one of those.
Okay.
I want to see a level 9 magic
Oh, wait,
missile
no,
by the end of the
actually,
campaign.
Seeker has no freaking idea that this thing can see invisible. And I have a spell that makes perfect sense here. I'm going to cast Greater Invisibility on Alex.
Okay.
And when I do, I'm going to wink at Lucius and say, time's up.
Okay. Are you moving or staying put?
And then I'm going to hide. I'm going to hide so hard.
Greater Invisibility is an action.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm not going to hide as an action. You're right, it's not so hard, it's like mildly hard.
But you're staying put in the kennel next to where the creature just jumped out of. You're not leaving from this spot. Okay, it's going to bring us to Alexander.
All right, so let's move over so I have a shot.
Okay.
And so I don't have advantage on this, but I don't know it. Is that how this is working because of the greater invisibility?
Wait, you have advantage. Oh, it's greater invisibility. So yeah, attacking wouldn't break it. But no, you don't have advantage because the thing does have true sight.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and take the first shot at -5.
Gus, this is why we always share combat information.
A 22 on armor class.
That'll hit.
You would have heard Gus go fuck, 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 fuck.
You always say that.
It's a lot of F words, man.
That's a lot of Yugoloth.
That's 19 magical piercing damage.
Okay.
And a second shot.
So spicy.
Another hit, unless it shows something else to its AC. Same AC. And that's 21 magical piercing damage.
Very good. And when you're firing with your magical bullets,
yeah,
it's piercing. You said,
yeah,
and you're blowing holes through this thing. You catch it once in the neck, once in the shoulder, as it's bearing down on Gus, and it's making tracers as it's going through its body to the other side, and the ash behind it. It looks like it's just hanging in the air, as though it's moving in slow motion. It's not falling properly. Are you moving or staying put?
I am keeping some distance, probably about 30 feet away from it.
So you'd have to leave the kennel, going back behind Vladislav.
Okay, I'll just stay at the entrance to the kennel then.
In front of or behind Vladislav?
In front of Vladislav, and then Scrappy takes a swipe at it.
So you've got Gus right in front of you, and the creature is just to the side of Gus, but you don't want to be in its threat range?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
And then Scrappy's attack hits an armor class of... Since I use this one, there it is. 17.
17 will not hit.
Okay.
Scrappy moving or staying put?
Scrappy staying put.
Okay.
I guess I got some.
Vladislav casts the cantrip again, and he moves back from the doorway. Only a few steps, though. He doesn't move back the full 30 feet. He seems very composed, actually. Like, this isn't the scariest thing he's seen. That's going to bring us to Florian.
All right. Bonus action to extract its name. If it has one.
To
It's a wisdom saving throw, please.
Wisdom saving throw. 14.
Oh, that's a fail.
You extract the thing's true name, but you would need 5 tongues to pronounce it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
In other words, I'm not going to Fantasy Name Generator for a creature you guys are going to kill in 10 minutes.
Do I get the... Can I use the resonant utterances, though, or can Florian just not say the name?
You can do anything that having a true name would allow you to do.
All right, cool. I'm going to use another level 3 magic missile at it.
Okay. Is extract name a bonus action?
Yes. Track name is a bonus action. Using a resonant utterance is just part of the spell. It's part of casting the spell. It's part of the...
Is it a cantrip?
Component. No.
Because you can't cast 2 spells in the same round unless one of them is a
It's just a
cantrip.
class feature.
Yeah, extract name.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a class feature. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Disregard.
All right. That is 20 damage.
Okay.
And I'm using Resonant Utterance Absorption, which grants me temporary HP. So 3d6 temp HP. If I can grab the d6s here. Why are you being difficult? Don't be difficult. Come on. There we go. All right. 3d6.
Whisper sweet nothings to the tabletop simulator.
And Florian gets 11 temp HP.
Okay.
On top of the 5 you already. That's
And
fascinating.
Moving or staying put?
Staying put now. Now Florian is confident.
That's going to bring us to Lucius.
So let me visualize this. Am I like, if I were to move to where Gustavus is, or not Gustavus, Alexander, at the doorway, would I be passing through its threat range?
No, because it's on the other side of the exit to the building.
Then I'm going to shift to stand next to Alex, and then I'm going to attempt to fire a couple more Eldritch Blasts at it.
Okay.
Blew my wad on the first one. Let's see if I do any better on this one.
Good luck.
I have, for you, my friend, a 12 to hit.
12 does not hit.
How about a 27?
That'll do it. You're going to apply some damage?
Yeah, I'm just verifying something real quick. I did things out of order. I shouldn't have done it this way, but it's fine. You're looking at 8 force damage.
Okay.
And then bonus action, I'm going to hex it.
It is hexed.
I will hex the stat. Let's go with strength.
Very good. And are you moving or staying put?
I'm staying next to Alexander.
Okay. That's going to bring us to Gus.
Okay, Gus is going to cast using a first level slot. Words are difficult. He's going to cast protection from evil and good on himself.
Okay.
So now he is. You know what that does? It gives. I get advantage on attacks. No, they get the protection creatures of this types, which includes fiends, which we were told he is. Gets
Right.
disadvantage on attack rolls. He can't charm, frighten, or possess me. Does it give advantage? No, it doesn't. Disadvantage on attack roll.
You cast the spell.
Yeah, so I cast it, and then I'm going to action surge. And I'm going to booming blade him.
Very good.
And that is a 16 plus 8. So that's 24 to hit.
24 does hit.
So that is a D8 plus a D6. And I still have my bonus action, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that is the first hit. That will be 4 thunder damage plus 8, 9 slashing damage. Yeah.
Okay.
9 slashing damage, and using my bonus action, that is a higher than the previous number. So that's a 26 to hit,
That's pretty high.
and that is just a regular physical attack. That is 7 points of magical slashing.
All right. And are you moving or staying put?
I'm staying right next to this man, and he is encased in booming energy. If he moves, he takes damage.
So you're standing in front of him. Scrappy's in front of him.
Right.
And Lucius came up to stand beside Alex at the doorway, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So how large is this creature?
Medium.
Okay.
It's human-sized. It takes damage if it moves with Booming Blade, right?
Yeah, it's just 2d8 thunder.
Let's go ahead and apply that, because if it moves, I can get 4 of you with this next attack.
Well, he just took 14 thunder damage.
I'm happy with that.
Does Scrappy get an attack of opportunity?
No, because he's still within Scrappy's threat range. He's just stepping forward so we can get all 4 of you instead of just 2 of you.
Yep.
Does he stepping out of anybody's threat range?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
So I've got Scrappy and Lucius and Gus and Alexander. Gus.
Yep.
Oh, this might actually hit Gus. I've never hit Gus with anything before. 26 to hit.
Take disadvantage on that from Scrappy's deflect attack.
Oh no.
No.
I hate to hear it.
Gus.
Yep.
24 to hit.
I forget. Can I use shield? No, I can't. Because I cast a spell this round.
No, it's a reaction.
It's a reaction.
It's a reaction.
Oh yeah, shield. So my AC is currently 20. No, you said 26 to hit?
26.
Or 24.
It's 24 with the disadvantage.
Okay, so 24 is 26 is my AC with shield. So you would have hit me with the first one. Thank you, Alex.
Okay. Alex.
Yeah.
I have a 12 to hit.
No.
Lucius.
Yeah.
I have an 11 to hit.
No! Holy shit!
Scrappy. I have a 9 to hit.
Missing.
Oof.
The thing slashes out, and as its claw moves forward, it looks as though, because it stepped forward, and the effect of the booming blade thundered off. And it looked like it was going to just lash out at Gus, but as it does, its claw seems to leave traces of itself behind. And after a split second, instead of one claw lashing out, it's like he's lashing out with 40 claws all at once, just slicing the air all around him. The claw ricochets off of Gus's shield. And we'll say that's what prevented the rest of you from taking any damage. You can all thank Gus for that.
Yep.
Thanks, Gus.
You weren't there.
That's still thinkable. I don't want everyone getting hurt.
That's going to bring us to Seeker.
All right, can you paint me a word picture with this monster? So everyone's kind of standing in front of it. Is it up against the wall, or is it...
No, it took a step forward. So he's got Scrappy, Lucius, Alex, and Gus
Yeah.
in its threat range.
They're all on one side of it, though, right? Like, is there any space up behind it?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to web it without hitting my allies.
No, that's not going to be possible in this small space.
Okay. If you guys can knock it back against the wall, I can... What's it... So it's attacking with these claws?
It's tried to bite a couple times.
Let's see how this goes. I'm going to... Oh, how high are the ceilings here?
It's a kennel. Like, 10, I don't know.
I'm sorry. I've got a lot of spells that have to do with distance.
Okay, just do something, though.
Okay, I'm just going to magic missile it.
Okay.
Uh, 11 force.
And the thing is bloodied. Seeker, moving or staying put?
Love to hear it.
I'm going to move back around the corner. I don't want to be caught with those claws.
Okay, it's going to bring us to Alex.
And I'm in. It's moved up, so I'm in its reach right now.
Right. It's got four.
So I'm
There's 4 squares around
try
him.
and shoot it.
Your disadvantage to what?
If I were to try and shoot it.
That's correct.
All right. I'll go ahead and try and move, so it'll get the AO.
That's not something I ever thought I'd hear.
Oh gosh, I think that.
It's no problem. I can't roll worth a damn today. That's gonna be a 14 to hit.
Misses. So Alex will back up about 10 feet.
So are you backing 10 feet further in, like down the kennel, or are you backing out the door to where Vladislav is?
Out into the rain.
Okay, gotcha.
Line up a shot and take it. I realize now that it can see me despite the invisibility, so I'm not taking the sharpshooter.
Mm-hmm.
That's an armor class of 17.
Not gonna hit.
Second attack. Worse. And that's the end of Alex's turn. Scrappy is going to use his action to give me advantage on my next attack against the creature.
Okay, so you're taking the help action?
Yep. That's the end of Alex's turns.
Vladislav, who's standing next to you, casts the cantrip again. And that's going to bring us to Florian.
It can see me!
That's a really good. No, wait. No, that's a pretty good roll.
What has Florian done?
I think he's muted himself.
He's muted.
Oh,
He's
finally.
muted himself. That's what he's done.
I didn't realize I was muted.
That's a
Damn it.
wizard spell.
I said, you know what's great? Not
What?
having to roll to hit rolls. And I was casting Magic Missile.
Okay.
Again, 3rd level. It's 19 damage. And as part, gonna do my other Resonant Utterance and Devastation, which means he has disadvantage first time he needs to make a saving throw.
Okay. So what's the total damage?
19.
19. And are you moving or staying put?
Staying put.
All right, back into the kennel with you. That's going to bring us to Lucius.
I'm not going to risk the chance that it doesn't have a second reaction because this thing is weird like that.
The time being.
So I'm just going to continue to stay put, and I'm going to...
I mean, he's used his
Fire.
reaction already. He doesn't have one this round because Alexander moved out of his threat range.
Yeah, I'm going to take a couple steps back, keep pace with Alexander, and then I'm going to take another couple shots with Eldritch Blast.
So you're going to go back. You're outside the kennel, out in the rain?
Yep.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll it.
Best move I got right now. That's a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
How about a 17?
17 damage?
No, it's a 17 to hit.
No, 17 does not hit.
Okay, so that's 1 hit. And it's getting some necrotic damage on top of the force damage this time because I've hexed it. Looking at 9 force damage and 6 necrotic.
All right. And how far away from the front door of the kennel do you want to be? It only took you about 5 feet to get outside.
However far Alexander went back.
Alex moved to where Vladislav was, and Vladislav didn't move that far from the door, because if he moves back any farther, he'll lose line of sight on the guy if he goes elsewhere in the kennel.
Yeah, I'm keeping pace with Alexander, basically to provide human shield cover to Vladislav.
Oh, everybody loves Vladislav.
That's our new sitcom name.
Excellent.
I mean, you just made up the new threat. You just made up the new stream title.
That's going to bring us to Gustolio.
Okay, I'm going to hit this man with my violence.
How do you feel about being Gustolio now?
It's fine. It's fine. It all shorts to Gus.
Excellent.
Okay, so Booming Blade.
Okay.
That is a crit.
Can you be the guy?
Maybe. We'll see.
Are you the guy?
I don't know. We'll see. So that is 4 thunder damage and 10, 12, 13 slashing damage.
Gus, your blade
Yep.
booms out. And this time you don't feel any resistance as your sword cuts into the thing. And it moves directly through its arm and into its chest. And the boom from the blade bursts outward. Just like an explosion of ash, painting the inside of the kennel and your stupid face, and Scrappy, and especially your stupid face.
Mm-hmm. It's the mutton chops.
Immediately, and I mean before you even are finished with your follow through, you hear the rain start to let up outside.
Yep. Gus is looking immediately for biscuits.
Biscuits, as you kind of regain your momentum, your center of gravity after the sword swing, you realize Biscuits wasn't here a moment ago, but now he is. Kind of.
I haven't stabbed him, have I?
He's not injured. The problem is he's laying on the ground, curled up, and he looks very different. His clothes are stretched and torn in places, and his limbs look longer. And his head, where before he had this sandy blonde mop of hair, is peeled back, revealing brown splotches on his scalp. What's next?
I take an action to end the shield other and prominently ask for my ring back.
Vladislav takes the ring off and hands it to you.
Ooh, how old is that for the humans in the group that understand how quickly humans age?
So getting a good look at Biscuits, when you examine him, it's clear that he's dead. And the source of his death is definitely aging. So when you turn him over, it's not the boy you see, but a very, very old man with skin pulled hard back against his skull. Like the oldest human you've ever seen, maybe 90, possibly 100 if we're talking about one of the old bastards in Tylesnus Apts. This looks like what would happen if a human continued to age past that point for some unknown period of time.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Yeah.
Gus pulls his cloak off and lays it over Biscuits, and
Okay.
let's go inside and check on Nellie and the scary butler man and Mrs. Bobkins.
And as you step out into the mud, the rain is almost completely gone. Looking, you got a bright, starry sky overhead, blocked in the distance by the canopy of trees in the forest around you, but you can't find any trace of the sky. And if not for the mud on the ground that you're tromping through, you wouldn't have even known there was weather tonight. Going back into the house, one by one, you discover the servants and the guests, and they've all befallen the same fate. They all look like they've aged hundreds of years in a second.
That was going to happen to us.
Wait, how old? Even the dwarves?
Going up to the dwarves' room, where before, like Amner's beard was this bright orange, fashioned like the cap of a mushroom, but now it's scraggly and white and gray. And yes, they are both also dead, laying in their bed.
Well,
I think that bringing these souls to peace with their god is worth some elven daggers.
Gus just kind of looks at Seeker and then looks at Alex and says, "Come on."
I did my best.
Do you want to, Scrappy and I'll get started digging?
Yeah, I'm gonna help with the shovel. We're gonna.
Okay. So
Like
the state of the house, rather than looking like a pristine house that's under great repair with a good cleaning and serving staff, looks like a dilapidated house that's been left out in the middle of the woods to the elements for ages and ages. Just moving around the house, you're finding rotten and loose floorboards. Nothing remains of the furniture or the magical lights. The pool table is in complete disarray.
That's the biggest shame.
Well, the biggest shame is that the liquor cabinet is broken and stands empty.
like you guys, like we're all walking by, and then like Gus takes a look at the liquor cabinet, falls to his knees, and lets out a mournful wail.
So
It'd be vinegar by now, Gus. Anyway.
we're burying the servants and the guests in the cemetery,
Yes.
And the goblin.
Yeah.
and the goblin.
Yeah, goblins are people too.
Question mark.
Goblins have souls.
Don't forget to look in the secret compartment to see if the armor is still there. I'm not telling you that out loud. That was kind of an out of character thing.
Don't worry.
All right.
Seeker, would you like to go look in the secret room to see if the armor is still there?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so you come up to the attic, and you go into this room, and before you stands the door into the next room.
Yeah.
And strewn across the door amidst the broken and dilapidated cupboard are hundreds and hundreds of terribly aged doll heads with bugs living in them and spider webs, and all of their eyes are really creepy.
Yeah, and Tinker looks at them and he listen, I did my best.
And you know that these dolls are never going to forgive you.
She's just instinctively.
I flip one upside down. I don't want to look at it.
Are you going to go take the armor? Is that the idea?
Oh yeah, super am.
So just to reiterate, it's 2 suits of armor. The first is a silver-plated suit of scale mail. The second is an actually silver breastplate and a shield made out of silver. So still in relatively good condition, even after all this time. It's been undisturbed. It's probably a little tarnished. It's going to need a good scouring, but it'll clean up nice. The shield has a red hawk emblazoned on it. And you find the 2 empty scabbards with mithril chains attached. And amidst the wreckage downstairs, you also find the other weapons. The arrows probably aren't in any good shape because they were made of wood. They would have rotted away a long time ago. So fine elven steel. You find 2 fencing swords, 3 fine daggers, 2 knives, and a crude iron hand axe. The handles on all this equipment, as well as the shield upstairs, would be in a bad state of repair, having been left to the elements for so long, but it's nothing you couldn't fix up.
Uh-huh. And none of it is magical?
No, none of it's magical.
A thought occurs to me. Why didn't we ask these guys about current events?
I tried.
You never ever did. Not once.
I tried. I kept getting ignored.
Yeah, I think the thought at the time was that it was getting caught up in the time loop, like them not wanting to talk about it.
Yeah, I literally tried several times.
Because I thought we asked them, or we tried to ask them, like, who is the current king of whatever.
Yeah, every time we asked them, it's like, oh, well, that's outside my knowledge. And
yeah,
like,
they brushed us off because they were all time
So
loop.
the other question is, are we still in that same time? Are we?
No.
Is it still the same day?
I mean,
Well, no.
still have the use. You want to wake Tom up?
Yeah, let's wake Tom up.
Hey,
And
Tom,
ask him
no.
if we asked him this question a few days ago.
2 questions. A, have we asked you this question before? And B, what is the current date?
Does the sending response have to be immediate?
No.
Then it doesn't come.
Once he wakes up, we'll get a message.
So there's a mental like red light.
You have 1 sending.
Can you go through that? Well, we could do that off stream. The stuff we picked up. I was just gonna make.
Oh, I wrote it all down. Don't worry.
Oh,
I'll just
good.
paste it.
There's only one mystery remaining.
What's that, Florian?
Norbert the Nimble.
We can look into him.
So wait, Florian, you remember dying now?
Yes, I don't recommend it.
I hope
Nasty
you're not
experience.
recommending remembering it, because apparently I don't.
No, breaking the loop
Yes,
does not
you're-
give
you're
you any
metaphor.
memories you didn't already have.
Let's put all this
There was a-
fine equipment into the bag of holding.
When
There's
I
a
die, I
lot of
get
truth to be
chastised.
experienced, and while I'm very appreciative of it, whew,
Hey, you know what? Now Seeker doesn't have one over on you in the knowledge department. I'm gonna slap him on the back.
Norbert the Nimble.
And that brings us to the end of the Groundhog Day murder mystery adventure.
I'm gonna find something even dumber for next time to suggest.
Escape from New York.
You think
Another
I'm
good
gonna?
movie.
You think I'm asking you guys again after this?
I mean, fair. 100%
Oh, now
fair.
you said that, I really want to say Escape from New York.
So everybody's gonna have 1,400 experience points for taking down the Temporal Fiend.
Okay.
That was a CR 12 monster you guys took. Good job.
We deserve it.
Uh-oh.
So while planning the adventure, I thought it was a spell. Apparently, it's a class feature, but Florian has a spell to extract name. So I'm like, if he starts like going into this time loop and just starts casting this spell willy nilly around the house, he's gonna find this demon because it's in the one person whose true name isn't what they say it is. So that's why Norbert the Nimble. That's why I had that boy. Not Biscuits was not his true name. So if you cast extract name on him, you'd get a clue that you were on the right track, but you wouldn't get the demon's name. But I think you guys had sussed the boy out as the culprit after the first loop, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's gonna come out in don't worry.
So my planning for this adventure, I actually have a spreadsheet. It's broken down by character. So Mordecai, Mrs. Bobkins, Biscuits, Nelly, Stuggett, Amner, Jimna, Aylesbury, Toriath, Vladislav, and then the PCs. Hour by hour, what they're doing at every point during the day and where they're doing it. To make sure I could get the loop right. Going through it again and again.
How annoying was it every time that you would look at that and realize that it didn't make sense anymore because we had screwed it up?
Not really, because every time you guys screwed it up, I didn't need to look at it. We're on a completely different, like, events have changed now.
Oh, that's right. At that point, you can just say whatever you want.
So, at that point, it was more of like, okay, well, here's where we are, where we would be. Where are we actually at? And that's why one day I'm like, oh, this is when Mrs. Bobkins passed out, but they're not down for breakfast, so she goes upstairs to get them. That wasn't something that was going to happen until you guys completely messed it up. That was
I
just
warned her.
fortuitous.
We did warn her.
How many loops do you think it would have taken? Like, because I think we showed some real restraint, not killing everybody and burning the place down just to see what would happen.
Here's my reasoning. You guys didn't know you were in a loop the first day.
Yeah.
The second, so I wasn't going to penalize anybody that first day. That wouldn't have been fair. The second day, everybody knows they're in a loop, but like that's the first day you actually know that you're in the loop. So that's like the real first day of the adventure.
Yeah.
That's the night that Vladislav died. The third day, I reasoned I wanted everybody to be able to work 2 days of the loop, so it's your first loop where you know you're in a loop. After that day, whoever rolls the lowest on that saving throw will have their memory wiped and just be stuck in the loop, which is what happened to all the people in this house years and years and years and years ago. So they're completely powerless to break out of it. The second level of that, when Lucius failed the second time, now he's like predisposed to not want to hear any evidence that he's in a loop.
Yeah.
And if he had failed the third time, he would have just been a part of the loop, and it would have been impossible to convince him otherwise. If
So
all
been completely out of that combat if it had gone to a third save, huh?
maybe
Most
not,
likely.
depends on how it happened.
No, that's fair.
We would. Oh, go ahead.
If all 5 of you had had your memory wiped, that would have effectively been a
Game over.
TPK. Because then there's no way out from there. Eventually, all 5 of you would just become part of the loop.
And Vladislav.
Yeah, screw that guy.
We would have taken him down with us.
My plan would have been, Lucius, at that point, if you had been completely gone, to get into combat with you nearby, and then assume you would help us.
That would have done it.
So one of the I started planning this adventure like a long time ago. How it was gonna work out, because one of you guys said, let's do a Groundhog Day adventure, and I'm like, there's no way I can do this. This is gonna be absolutely impossible. But when I started to look at the mechanics of it and the way I was organizing it, I'm like, you could actually compile this data into a workable adventure.
Yeah.
I think the one thing you couldn't publish that I've put a lot of thought in, like, how would you word this in the adventure to get it to work? Like, there's no way you could just murder a player character the way I did in a published adventure. It's just not workable.
No, I don't know. I feel like you can get away with that one just because of the way sleeping rules work.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very possible to kill every member of your party if you want to. You just have to be a jerk. And just remind them, don't worry, they're coming back in about 10 minutes.
Well, like, the only thing I can think of...
that breaks the tension.
That's the thing. If you don't want to tell them they're in a loop, right? You want it to be a surprise. Because you want to have that tension there where they're trying to solve this mystery, and one person's like angry and rolling up a new character.
Oh no, I didn't tell the DM that.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even tell the characters that.
Well, that's the thing. Because I kept picturing tables like, if you just tell a PC, oh, you went to sleep and then you got murdered, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, the game breaks at that point. The whole table's gonna be pissed. Like, but I thought, like, if you put a box, like, if you really don't think you can get away with it, just conspire with one of the players to pull it off.
Yeah.
You can always open with an NPC getting murdered, but even though it's not really the same thing.
It's a little less of a punch. But yeah, and in fact, because the creature keeps memory of every loop, it didn't have to be the same murder victim every night, because he knew your movements from previous nights. But other than that, that wasn't gonna be a problem in our group, obviously.
So you want to know why I suggested the Groundhog Day loop thing?
I just assumed because you're obsessed with Bill Murray.
That's a secondary, but Groundhog Day is such a good movie. But anyway, I got into an argument with somebody, and they said that there is absolutely no way you could make a good Groundhog Day like adventure.
Were they right?
No, I think it was pretty good. And when you were asking for suggestions, I was flailing around for, like, for something to suggest, and I just happened to remember that argument. So I blurted it out.
It was.
I think in response to that, you just jazz hands at this thing.
It took some doing to put this adventure together.
Well, like, my argument is like, well, you just Majora's Mask it, where like, but it would be a massive undertaking, and it couldn't be a very large, you couldn't do an entire city. It would have to be basically the same way you approached it, a small localized area,
handful of NPCs in a space where you can't leave.
I think you could do a city with enough preparation. You would just need to be like, okay, well, I have to write down what happens when I improv something. Like, I have to have the large strokes, and the small ones I have to record. Like, I think if you were to lay the groundwork for it, and like we're publishing a large professional module, you could do a city. I don't know if it's actually worth the extra prep work.
No, I don't think. It wouldn't be reasonable to give a DM that adventure and have them run it without going absolutely crazy.
Right.
Right.
But no, I think you did a wonderful job. And
yeah, it was fun. Good times.
Like, that was exactly. I feel a little vindicated because like the arguments I made were like, yeah, no, you'd have to do it, but you could do it. Like, no, it's too much to keep up with. Even just with like 5 or 6 people, you can't keep up.
It was a lot to. It was definitely a lot more than work. Just in the moment to moment, keeping track of what happens than its typical adventure. But with this number of NPCs and players I have faith in, it wasn't an overwhelming amount of work. It was just a lot of double checking stuff.
I'm glad you had faith in your NPCs.
All right.
But yeah, no.
You just knew you couldn't kill me that first night because I always pitch a fit.
So, the first night I was just going to murder whichever NPC or whichever player character was in this room. Whoever was staying the night there. That was the plan.
My favorite thing though is it ended up being Destil, whom you did almost the exact same thing to in the last campaign.
Yeah, no, that was good. It was kismet there.
So in the next campaign, you have to do it again, so it's a hat trick.
I will play a Warforged in the next campaign.
Oh goodness, what have I done?
Just play an elf. That way you don't have to sleep.
So why don't we take 2 minutes? I know we're going to run a little bit long today, but I still want to give some blips out. Because this is the end of Flumph Inc. Act 1. I'm going to step away for 2 minutes, and we'll come back and award some blips.
Sure. It was most creative today.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm going to say, like, something's like sticking in my head about Lucius. Like, was able to explain to Vladislav in a way that got him on our side a little faster.
Is that party goals?
I mean, either or is fine.
Like, I remember the conversation. I just don't remember like the specific like.
You
moment there.
You pointed to the on his chest.
Oh, the
amulet.
thing on his chest. Yeah.
Yeah. You reminded him, like, yeah, we know about your amulet, and we can't do this. So
Because I imagine that you guys are bros enough that you tell you tell Lucius about his own badass moment that he will never remember. Firsthand.
All right. Who wants to make their case first?
I could go.
Seeker.
Alright. I've got flaws. Anybody can be fooled except for me. I think day 2, I was like, okay, first thing is it's the boy. Second thing is he's transforming and it's unintentional. I crushed that one.
You did kind of knock it out of the park, yeah.
It's more of a temporal possession thing that was happening.
I've got opportunity is everywhere if you can see it. For once I realized that the people were all dead, remembering the armor and daggers. And I've got chaotic good. Good is only taking from those that can afford it. Chaos is taking them for all they're worth. For getting every single thing we could out of Vladislav, and then immediately informing everyone I could in that time space as to his movements in the world.
So, originally, the plan was, because you guys were doing some stuff in Dunfoss, and I had a wrap up with Vladislav, similar to what we did here, where he was going to approach you guys about taking out Skada and convince you to help him. But that was going to take place in Dunfoss. But we're doing that last adventure in Dunfoss, because I was going to run that. That was going to be the end cap. Then I was going to get a 4-week break to put this together. But you guys are like, let's go to the tower right now. We're on a boat at this very minute.
We were running from the authorities. I'm sorry.
Yeah, to be fair, I literally got picked up.
So
Yeah, he did get pinched.
I had to roll Vladislav into this adventure. That's why he was there. So I actually made a list of like what advantages he would have on each day and how many loops it would probably take for you guys to finally get him into a position where he couldn't refuse to help you with this monster.
I am going to tell you that the constant refusal to do anything helpful was starting to make me want to like just take a loop and just strangle him to death.
See, I loved it. I really loved it.
I
like,
thought we
why
were
are
going to
you-
kill him as soon as the mission ended. I was looking sides like, all right, we going?
I was like, why? Like, I was like, just sit here and just eat all of the hellish rebukes as I just like Simpson strangle him to death.
For the record, it took you exactly as many loops as I expected. Actually, +1 because you ghosted him one day. So it's what do you call that? A birdie?
That was a fun one. Good day.
One over par?
One
I'm
over
not
par.
sure.
Who else wants to get some blips?
I'll go. Neutral good. I must be a benefactor and strive to leave things in a better state than I found it. For the my ability to rationalize that, okay, Vladislav might be an asshole, but Skada is just demonstrably more evil. And, you know, maybe killing her and this other person that is high up in the Blackjackets would leave things in a better state than just killing Vladislav.
Yeah, probably.
And then I deal my companions or my support structure, and I must do what I can to protect them from themselves. For just jumping straight in on top of the monster and trying to keep it hemmed in a small space so that everybody else could shoot level 3 magic missiles at it.
Right.
And Drunk Gus says hello for my utter supreme despair at that all the liquor's gone.
Yeah, but you didn't get drunk.
Profound sadness.
I know.
So drunk Gus didn't say anything. Regular Gus said profound sadness.
Yeah, profound
Said
sadness.
F's in the
That's
chat.
fine.
That's in chat.
And then the video.
All right, who's next?
Florian will go.
Florian, what you got?
True neutral. Sometimes you have laws, but their laws are also restrictive. Sometimes you have to be good, but there's no way to define good. 4, after wanting to murder Vladislav on the previous loop, warming up to Vladislav and realizing that he could be a really good ally to have.
So there's no way to define good.
No way.
Which means that stuff he pulled in the sewer might be good. You don't know.
Might be. We don't know.
That could have been
Barely
that
know
child.
those.
That kid was a dick.
That
Yeah.
child could have been Fantasy Hitler.
Right.
We don't know.
You don't know.
Exactly. We might have done a good thing. Ideals, there are infinite truths. We must experience as many as we can to figure out their validity. 4, having experienced all of the time loops, he was going to volunteer to try to have his mind wiped to save everyone else. I was going to ask you about that, but it never came up anyway. So
There was no
What
correlation between dying and getting your mind wiped. It was just whoever had the lowest roll on the end of the day saved.
right, but if you
Whoever
choose to,
failed.
but you can choose to fail that roll, right?
Yeah, you can choose to fail a save.
And what would that roll equal? Would that just be a 1 then at that point?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean,
All
if
right.
2 people fail the same saving throw and it's really like I have to break the tie, like yeah, which is all right. So it's a 1, and what does that resolve to?
Flaws, there's no such thing as a lie for believing Seeker's lie about having never met that Vladislav.
I was thinking about that, and that's exactly backwards.
Yes, that is very much backwards.
Wow, Seeker is so full of shit. How do you fit that much shit into that little gnome?
Bag of holding.
It's just a big old bag of holding.
All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Lucius.
I have my alignment, lawful neutral, take your place in society, work well for your fellow people, take care of your own, for being on board with helping out the party once it was clear that his brain was addled.
Hey guys, sorry about the brain problems.
Yeah. I have knowledge is paramount for trying to pump Vladislav for as much information as he possibly could, even going against the wishes of his party members to try and get everything he could out of him.
I'll be honest, I don't know where you guys were going with lying about the source of the spell.
Yeah. nor
Because he
I.
was always so smug about having, like, oh, well, that means I'm one up on you. I wanted to take it away from him.
Aw.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Lucius
Muffin.
is just like, okay, no, we can't keep doing this.
No one else can keep up with Seeker's wheels within wheels.
I don't want to hear that out of you, Mister. Oh, this is just our driver Kobold. Fucking lying for no
Still
reason.
bitter about the driver cobalt thing.
I don't blame him. That was
I remember that.
That was rough.
It was really good.
that was some BS.
Then I have double or nothing for being pretty risky with his whole I'm gonna move around and do things, because I was really concerned that since it was a time monster, that it was going to be like, oh, well, I get my reaction back because funsies.
Uh,
This monster.
the actual mechanics of the monster, I did give it a stat block. It had a reaction. The trigger of the reaction was just any hostile action towards it, whether it's an attack or you cast a spell at it or whatever. It can rewind time up to 1 minute back to the start of whatever turn that would have been for him. So up to 10 combat rounds.
Mhm.
And because he always goes back to his own turn, he always gets his reaction back. So I did design the monster so there was literally no way to fight it without that cantrip.
Yeah.
What was your game plan before you decided to put Vlad in the game?
What do you mean? As far as fighting
Because
monsters?
you said that putting in Vladislav was like a last-minute decision.
Well, remember too that I thought I was gonna have 4 weeks to design this thing.
Oh,
I had to design it in 1 week,
Yeah,
and at that point, I already knew. So Vladislav was just baked into it at that point.
Yeah.
That's all 3 of my
I
blocks.
probably would have put like a mystery like in the house, like it had left clues or something, and you had to piece them together instead of
ritual.
instead of going through the stuff with Vladislav, and then in that case, I think anybody with spellcasting feature or pact magic would be able to use the cantrip. Alexander, what do you have for me?
All right, so I have lawful neutral. Always be willing to take the law into your own hands, but no further. Given that his intention with the deal with Vladislav is sure we'll help, and then he's going to immediately turn him into whatever authority he thinks would be useful, which isn't the Black Jackets right now. But ideal, the dead deserve dignity for dealing with Jimma's body in one of the loops and all the bodies at the end of the loops. And flaw, I'm sure we can handle this for, okay, this is the, tell me on the next loop that this is the last loop and we just have to go.
I did enjoy that. I liked that moment a lot.
It's like, leave a message for myself.
I mean, I'm a little sad that I can never run another Groundhog Day adventure. You guys are going to be on the lookout for it. I will, McDohl, listen to me very carefully.
Yeah.
Not you, the good one.
Oh.
I resisted the temptation to put a mimic in this room. I just want you to know. I just didn't think that the adventure needed that.
A doll mimic?
Oh, I love doll mimics.
So,
listen, I've used those.
Doll mimic swarm?
There was nothing up with the dolls. The dolls and the knives were all total red herring. Absolutely nothing to find there.
Oh man, we never tried taking all the dolls out of the house.
So, how happy were you that we spent an entire loop of nobody gets knives ever? Knives are over.
I actually anticipated you guys trying that because the knives were just very deliberately placed everywhere.
I can't believe we didn't figure out immediately where those elven daggers were. That I feel genuinely dumb about.
So Nodal,
We're really good.
I'm gonna vindicate you a little bit. Those elven daggers don't go with those scabbards.
Ah! Where are those daggers?
There were three elven daggers in the case and 2 scabbards upstairs.
So there's a 4th and a 5th elven dagger?
There's a lot more elven daggers than that. I mean, there's lots of elves down south somewhere.
Oh, I hate elves.
We have one blip.
They're dwarven daggers in the elven style, though.
Who had the most creative solution to a problem this session?
Let's see.
I think we got the party goals for Lucius, but
Yeah, we didn't come up with a creative yet.
Okay.
Let's
the
think
time.
real quick. I am going to suggest.
Okay.
Alex for taking all the knives and dumping them a mile away.
I don't feel like I want to reward that, but okay.
Come up with a better plan in the next 3 seconds, Gus.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
Alex?
yep.
I'm good with it.
Who furthered the party's goals the most?
We gave that to Lucius for convincing the
He-
shitty warlock to work with us.
Is that just what his name is now? Shitty Warlock?
Yeah. We've got a better warlock, and then, we've got him.
Who was the badass?
I'm gonna go with Florian for just extracting the name from the monster and then using it in combat for the first time. I think. I think that's the first time he's gotten. Yeah, I think
Badass for using my class feature.
Yeah, but that's the first time you got to use it.
Yeah, you can only be a badass for it once.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was distracted by the dancing gay pride D20s on my screen there for a second.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Oh my god.
What's the
He
difference?
chuckled.
We have one blip for intangibles.
Oh.
Are you not even going to sing like the Sonic bonus music sting?
I want to give it. I want to give intangibles to Lucius too for the being a good sport about like not remembering coming into the session. Like, because like I feel like some players might feel like excluded. At least potentially. Like we didn't let him feel that way.
Oh, yeah, no. If you were to publish this adventure, you could never tell a player like you don't remember what happened in the previous session.
So
Yeah.
You have to remember, I have a lot of leeway with you guys as players that most DMs would not have with their players.
Oh, dominate person? Okay, who do I have to punch?
We feel good about Lucius for intangibles?
yeah.
Yeah.
fine.
All right.
Okay.
And Seeker has our straw poll for the week. So, everybody has 6 except Alex. You spent yours last week, so you are earning 4 this week.
Yep, that's what I've got written down.
Blips are worth 366. Is that correct? Because we're level 7.
I believe someone's level 7.
Okay.
Yes.
366.
So everybody else has to dump theirs over. Florian, you're rolling over 4. Gus, you're rolling over 3. Lucius, you're rolling over 5. And Seeker is rolling over 4. And with that, I will be taking a break from running this ridiculous campaign for a couple of weeks. We will have something else for you next Sunday to watch that will either be more or less ridiculous. I could not swear to which.
Frick, wait, it's gonna be way funnier when you're not the one running me. I'm hilarious when you're not the DM.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I get new options for Eldritch Invocations.
All right. With that, I think I'm going to push the button that makes the internet go away. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye, Internet.